Hey everyone, Budget Nerd here. In this video, we'll take a look at one of the more inexpensive robot vacuums with LiDAR and a self-emptying bin. Let's check it out and see if it's any good. This is the Neabot NoMo N1, as in NoMo Dust and NoMo Manual Disposal. This thing also goes by the model L8850 and goes by several different brand names as well, but anyway. It currently comes in at $480 or $384 if you use the coupon. Use the coupon, Budget Nerd approves. If you dig around the internet, you could probably find it cheaper than that. This thing has a decent amount of features for the price, including automatic dustbin emptying, clearly, LiDAR and SLAM navigation, no-go zones, and a decent app, along with other things that are pretty standard these days like remote control, smart assistant support, etc., etc. In the box you get the manual, things, the remote control, which is basic. You also get batteries for the remote control, and then the vacuum itself. Looks pretty nice and feels well made. There's also the dock that will collect the dust for you. They provide 2 dust bags for the dock, and then last but not least, you get 2 spare side brushes and a side filter. Setting up the app was pretty easy. It's called Neabot Home. Not sure why it needs access to my photos, media, and files on my phone, honestly. Adding the vacuum was pretty easy as well, but make sure you use the 2.4 GHz Wi-Fi, as this vacuum won't support 5.0 GHz. The app is nice, but could use a little more refinement. This notification wasn't something I could read, and this menu could use a bit more formatting. Moving on, in the app you get the typical options to start the vacuum, set up a schedule, customize the map, send the vacuum to empty its dust bin, or to go charge. In the settings you can change the suction, alter the frequency of the dustbin emptyings, and change its voice language and volume. As far as vacuuming, it does a pretty good job. It got all of my first floor, and the navigation works pretty well. It picked up anything that was easy to see, and I'm happy to report that using the remote control to control the vacuum worked well. When done, it went back and emptied its dustbin. The dock's emptying fan is pretty loud when it kicks in, but it's okay. It would clear most everything from the bin, but it wouldn't get some of the larger or heavier objects. It's probably worth a check now and again, but overall, it works pretty well. It does a good job of staying away from the no-go zones, and it almost always found its dock when it was done. Without no-go zones, though, it will get stuck on any wire it gets the chance to. So overall, it's a pretty good vacuum, but it's not all perfect scores. It usually didn't struggle too much on my kitchen transition, but sometimes would. And once it couldn't do it at all and wasn't able to finish the job. It would generally come out victorious though, given enough time. It also isn't the most graceful vacuum. It would bump the occasional thing, catch the occasional bit of furniture on its side. It would always pop the screw cover off my toilet. And I would also frequently see it riding up on my baseboard. Lastly, when pressing the empty dustbin button in the app, it doesn't send the robot to empty its dustbin. It gives you instructions on the screen on how to do it with the buttons on the vacuum itself. I didn't expect that. Kind of lame, actually. Creating no-go zones in the app worked, but was pretty clunky. Generally all minor things, but they do add up. I also don't believe that 2700 PA rating for 1 second. It does a decent job vacuuming, but as far as actual suction power, other reviewers like Vacuum Wars found the suction to be amongst the lowest of its competitors. At a lower price, something has to give, and I guess those are the things that gave. Overall, it's a decent vacuum, but not perfect. For the price, it's easy to overlook some of these things, but on the other hand, it is nice that you can get something like this for this price these days, and they'll only get better. So, do I recommend this vacuum? I'd say most likely yes. It does its thing, all on its own. The no-go zones let you set the robot and forget about it. It got around my house without any real trouble, and it would pick up a decent amount of stuff. Just don't expect it to pull out really deep dirt. Well, hopefully this helps. Should you decide to grab one, there's a link below, and thanks for watching.